What if I told you that the richest, most powerful man in the entire country, a man with servants, gold, and unlimited power, secretly envied you? Not your money, not your status, just your ordinary Tuesday. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you're going to see your own life in a way you never have before, and you might just realize you've been sitting on a gold mine this whole time without even knowing it. On a crisp autumn morning, a government clerk stepped out of his office building, squinting into the sunlight. He paused, looked across the city skyline, and there it was, the emperor's palace, its golden domes blazing like a crown against the pale blue sky. He let out a slow, quiet sigh. Must be nice, he thought, shuffling his stack of papers under his arm. Born into the right family, handed everything on a silver platter. No deadlines, no bosses, no endless paperwork. Just ease. Just simplicity. What a life that must be. He walked on, making his way toward the center of the city. And that's when he heard it. The rhythmic crack of hammers, the shouts of working men, the groan of heavy timber being hauled into place. Right there in the open square, a crew of construction workers was raising a new building from the ground up, brick by brick under the open sky. One of the workers, Dusty, broad-shouldered, sweat on his brow, happened to glance over at the clerk passing by. He took in the clean coat, the leather briefcase, the stack of neatly organized documents, and the worker felt something quietly stir in his chest. Why didn't I listen to my father? He thought, leaning on his hammer. He told me, go to school, learn to read and write, get yourself an education. I could be sitting indoors right now, doing clean work, pushing papers around all day. No broken back, no calluses, no sun burning your neck till 5 o'clock. That man's got the easy life. Asterisk, meanwhile, high above the city, behind the tall, gleaming windows of his palace, the emperor himself stood alone in a grand hall. He pressed one hand against the cold glass and looked down at the square below. The workers, the clerks, the merchants, the children chasing each other between the market stalls, the street vendors calling out their goods, an old man reading on a bench in the sun. He watched all of it for a long, quiet moment. He thought about what it must feel like to breathe open air all day, to work with your hands and feel something real at the end of it, to answer to someone, anyone, instead of carrying the weight of an entire nation on your shoulders alone, to walk through a market and be nobody, to go to sleep without dreading the morning's council meetings, the border disputes, the impossible decisions that shape the lives of millions of people who would never once think about how heavy a crown actually is, how simple their lives must be, the emperor whispered, so quietly that not even the silence of the room could hear him. How wonderfully, beautifully simple. 3 men, 3 completely different lives, and every single one of them was convinced, absolutely convinced, that someone else had it easier. Here's what this old story is really trying to tell you. The life you are living right now, the one that feels ordinary, maybe even frustrating, maybe even boring, is the exact life that someone else out there is quietly dreaming about. The clerk envied the palace, the worker envied the desk, and the emperor envied the open square dot we spend so much of our energy looking at. What we don't have, that we become completely blind to what we do have. And the most dangerous part? The person you're envying right now is probably envying someone else entirely. Maybe even you. The grass is always greener on the other side. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. The grass is greenest where you water it. Your life right now, with all its imperfections, is already someone else's answered prayer. The question isn't, why wasn't I born into a better situation? The real question, the only one worth asking, is, what am I going to do with the extraordinary ordinary life I already have?